Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon to our East Coast friends. We'll give it just another minute and see the numbers climb. So we ask you guys for a little bit of information before you join us for these pro workshops. So give it just another minute, and then we'll get the show started for you. Still climbing, still climbing. All right, we'll get started. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this month for another pro workshop. Really excited to have you guys with us today. We'll be joined by Nate Dennis, VP of Sales, Nick Aris, Senior Product Manager for RemPhos, and I'll be our host today, Doug Nevelsberger. I think you guys have seen me on these once or twice before. So but we try to keep these things, fun and lively. So we've got some PowerPoint, of course, to give you guys some great information. Talk about positioning, but we got a lot of cool products to actually physically show you guys today as well. Just a little bit of the format. We do have a Q&A section where you guys can put questions in, and we'll answer those at the end of the presentation and after the quiz. We'll have a short 5-question quiz today. The quiz is not intended to stump you, really just intended to reinforce some of the key points that Nate and Nick will share with you guys today. And if you guys do well enough, do 5 out of 5, you'll be entered into a drawing for a $50 Amazon gift card. So we're going to give out 10 of those today. And I think that's pretty much the housekeeping. But we've been working hard in the lab, Nick and Nate, trying to come up with some new fun, great, extensions of our product family under RemPhos. And that's what they're here to talk to you guys about today. So pass it over to Nate Dennis. So Nate, take it away.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Doug. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining in today. This is, for me, I think, a pretty exciting pro workshop to be doing for you. And I just wanted to remind everybody of a couple of things. One, this month, I believe it's this month, marks 8 years of pro workshops from Light Efficient Design and our brands. I can't believe how fast the time has flown by, but training and education is a very important pillar of our organization. So thank you for joining today and coming along on the ride. Gonna start clicking through here. So today for the agenda. Now the agenda says LBI expansion, and that's what we're primarily going to do. But I am going to give you a little sneak peek and an update on what we've been working on to improve our drum line. Many of you who have been longtime supporters of that have asked for some changes and updates. We're delivering them here during the rest of this year. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about a lot of stuff going on with LBI, and we're very excited about it, as Doug had said. And so without further ado, we're going to keep running here. I'm going to speak for 25 minutes, and then we're going to have Nick, our product manager for RemPhos, come in and talk a little bit more about some of the technical nuances of some of this new LBI product that we have coming your way. So for those of you that haven't joined us for a little while, I just wanted to remind you a little bit about the RemPhos brand. The RemPhos brand has been around for about 12 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. And the premise of our brand has always been energy efficiency, kind of cool stuff that helps contractors' jobs go quicker and easier and meet the needs of a dynamic, changing energy efficiency kind of economy for these products. And one thing that we've been doing, which I'm hearing is a little bit trendy these days, we've been doing this I've been here for 8.5 years. We've been doing it for 8.5 years anyway, are upgradable, replaceable light engines. And a lot of the RemPhos product swirls around that. because what that means, for those of you who haven't heard the term before, a maintenance facilities worker or a break fix contractor can easily step in and upgrade products without maybe getting above the ceiling to do that type of work. And you'll see that kind of here in this product lineup. So retrofit kits, really cool stuff, problem solvers, super high energy efficiency, particularly on our newer products that Nick's been working on that we're launching here in the next several months. Our drum line, thank you for all of our supporters on that. And then we have a category we call them retrofit/fixtures. And that basically means they can be used as retrofit kits or as new fixtures. And we DLC list those either way. So you have those options depending upon what your job and what rebates and so forth are available. So here is our drumline update. On the left of your slide, you'll see our architectural linen drum fixture. I am personally really excited for us to be able to offer that as part of our drum line. And you might say, oh, you know what? I hadn't even thought about coming to Light Efficient Design to get a quasi-decorative fixture for my project. We benchmarked this against 4 other manufacturers, and ours is not only the lowest cost, but we are 20 to 40% more energy efficient. And we're utilizing a new light engine that Nick's been working on for the past 6 or 8 months called our CR series, which is in the middle of the slide, Generation 3. That's 15 to 20% more energy efficient than our past versions of this product. We're using something we call fisheye technology, which is basically using the lens and to filter the light a little bit better to do more volumization of the fixtures. So the fixtures that have this look really cool. Also, just like a lot of our RemPhos products, and if you've been to our trainings, you'll hear me say this, the driver is a dim to off sensor ready driver. So for those of you that want to be able to add controls to this, we're basically controls ready. So ask us more questions if you need help in that space. The other part about this linen drum fixture is the price point is solid. In fact, we're beating those 4 others that we benchmarked against. We have all sorts of neat little adders like those spokes, EM units, and then you can add all sorts of pendants and extensions. So check us out. Don't forget us, or if you're looking at like hotels, insurance agencies, restaurants, those are all C&I type things that come to my mind. And then the other thing that we're doing is we've had historically 2 different fixtures that were pretty similar. We had an outdoor drum and a tough drum. And the tough drum met the IK08 standard for durability, right? And the outdoor drum was damp listed, right? So we had 2 different products. And the outdoor drum wasn't the most beautiful looking thing, to be quite honest. So we decided to kind of merge those products together and create this outdoor tough drum. Nick calls it the DOT, right? Yeah, DOT, drum outdoor tough. And so that's where you'll see it soon on our price sheets. We're coming out with that formally in Q4. We're just finishing up the details on that now. We are happy we'll have cut sheets, I believe, towards the end of next week on that. So if you need one right away, just bear with us for 1 more week. So again, excited to be advancing this product line, modernizing it, and offering you folks this stuff. And the linen drum is available now. So that's something to consider. But yeah, here we go. So let's transition. Thank you for that quick commercial on drums. Let's transition now back to LBI, which is really what we're here today to talk about. The LBI family, for those of you who have followed us, we had our Generation 1 LBI, and then we decided that we really wanted a wet rated or damp rated fixture. So we came out with IP65. And then we also have one called the LBI Max. Those are the items in that top row on the slide that you're looking at. The Max is a strip fixture that can also be measured as a low bag, but it has all those neat linking capabilities that the LBI has become famous for, that Lego of lighting mentality that we've been using with this line. And then now the 4 items below really mark our expansion in the space, which is occurring anywhere between now and over the next 4 or 5 months. So we'll dig into that a little bit in just a minute. So we have a generation 2, we have a fixed color product, more for precision scientific lighting, and we'll go into that. That's available now. We have Color Palette Plus, which uses a remote for addressing RGB color space. And then we'll have a DMX offering. And Nick, on those last couple, he's going to do the deep dive into that. That's actually very much his background. So we're hitting the sweet spot there with him. Now, I do want to, before I advance the slide, I want to, if this was a YouTube channel, I'd tell you to hit the like and subscribe button and add comments below, right? For all of you guys who have watched YouTube. I'm going to give you some emails at the end. We're really interested in your feedback on some of these color adjustability on LBI, because our value prop all along with LBI has been a lot of cool features, connectability, energy efficient, right price point, all of those things. And the items below continue to add to that value point. So I think you'll find us to be very competitive in the market and a fun product to either have in your facility, or if you're in sales, to sell it. It's fun. We're moving along. So let's just refresh your memory here a little bit on the basic LBI series. LBI, now that's generation 1. We're going to keep generation 1 in place for another 6 months as we feather in generation 2. I think that's the plan. It could shift a month or 2 either way, but generally speaking, if you've been a big supporter of us for generation 1 LBI, we're going to keep that going, and then gradually we'll adopt our customers over to generation 2. What makes generation 2 really cool is that we're moving the energy efficiency up another 15-20%. So it's going to be more energy efficient. And those of you that keep in touch with me, you know that I love energy efficiency. That's what I'm all about. So we can offer a neat product and improve that. We're adding more CCTs. Generation 1 had 3 CCTs, which is what you see there. We're going to 5 switched color temperatures, and 1 more, it's the higher white light version, right? Which you can access through the remote control. So we're adding more colors. We're also adding tunable white technology into this. So for those of you that need tunable white, that can go a couple of different directions, as you know. Tunable white could be used if you got the right type of control system or have specific needs around certain types of circadian rhythm, or what is most common, I think I'm hearing now, is there are a lot of updates occurring at property management locations. So if you have different color temperature expectations from customers or tenants that are changing in and out, you can adjust the look and feel of the white light in that space. So all sorts of different ways to go with tunable white. Just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything on that. Oh, we're adding more. We've always been known. In fact, we were one of the very first manufacturers to come out with flex watt switches inside of our material. So the LBI G1 had 3. We've incorporated 1 more flex watt into it. IP65 we've had out for a little while, but a lot of people don't know that we actually have that same tunable white technology, if you need it in an outdoor space, built into IP65. And then a max that we talked about, which is a higher lumen output strip kind of fixture with all those connectivities. And I might add that for those of you that need 90 CRI, that we'll have a little bit in stock, but that will be primarily a custom build, but we can certainly do that for you. And G2, and boy, that's another one where I say hit the like and subscribe and comment. Sure would like to hear if you have applications for 90 CRI. All right, so this is generation 1. I could spend the whole hour just on this. So we won't, but we have a lot of accessories for mounting, cove, suspension, 90-degree entrance cables, connectivity stuff, as you all see there. So that's generation one. We've had this for a little while. This generation one, I think, was our COVID baby, right? We delivered this during COVID. Generation two uses all the same accessories, same footprint, same way that we've been implementing this for some time. But again, it just adds the tunability, more CCTs, more flex watt selections, and missing one, but it'll come to me. And higher efficacy. So that's generation two. IP65. We are pretty happy with this product. We'd love to hear your feedback on that. And if there's anything we can do for you in this space. This is a very aggressively priced IP fixture. So if you get into those situations, please consider us for that. LBI Max, I think I've commented a little bit on that. So we appreciate your support. And if you look at the picture that's on the left side of the screen, you'll see that run down those aisleways. That's a perfect example because they just plug together. So it's really simple to link those to create extended runs. If you're a contractor, so much easier to mount an LBI Max than a standard strip fixture. So again, we have all sorts of different cell sheets and ways to help you, but we're also here to help you figure out how to navigate doing strip lighting more efficiently and faster. All right, so here's the exciting stuff. This slide sort of introduces the three new products that we have to enhance the overall LBI line. We've been asked by 1 million people over the last, billions of people, I lied. All right, so to upgrade, and we've always had that flex color switch, and everyone says, oh, we need colors. So again, love to hear your feedback on how you would like to have colors utilized for your needs. Color palette, we'll go through that a little bit more in depth, is a precision locked in color spectrum, and we'll talk about that. Then we have LBI Palette Plus, which is the one that requires a remote control to do your tunable RGB. And then we have DMX. I'm going to say it here in case I don't remember later. There are many methods to control RGB color selection. We chose DMX because that's what we heard most from you guys. We also understand that there's Dolly and some other methods. So we're really interested to know what other methods that you're looking for to help us either augment a line or say we made the right choices. Moving on to the next. All right, so I was super excited about this line. We call it Color Palette, which utilizes precision wavelengths of light. Quite a few years ago now, I was involved in a project where we were working with a semiconductor manufacturer, and they needed to replace what was called GE gold lamps, which are reduced UV emitting lamps. And we were able to come up with a solution for them, moving on to LED, getting the life and the efficiency and the reduced UV output. And that's the one that's sort of in the middle with the scientist guy. And then with Harvard, it was either Harvard or MIT, they have a mice study lab, and we went red light for scientists that needed to study mice at night because they're nocturnal. We utilized a red light solution, I think it's MIT, in their space. And so that sort of, I was excited about that, and I wanted to productize it a little more formally for you. And Nick said, Nate, there are so many colors that we can do. So we selected these precision colors for you. And so red, circadian rhythm, sleep lab, those types of applications. we picked the nanometer of light, which is 641 for this red light spectrum, as the most common one asked. If for some reason you have a very large project and we need to look at adjustments to that, we're open-minded to that, but we think this is going to hit, these spectrums will hit most of the market. And then we have a second one over, which is orange, colorish. That's used for broadcast, but that can also be used for UV reduction and high ceiling applications. So the further, if you're doing assembly of wafer chips or photochemically static kind of items, if the ceiling's higher, it's not going to impact your UV as much. So that can be used in a couple of different areas. And then we have UV, and there's no UV emitted at all. And then we go to green, and I want to personally call out a gentleman named Joe Volker, who works for Synergy in the Pennsylvania market. We have a green light. A lot of hospitals and surgery rooms use a green light in combination with white light for video terminal display surgical rooms. So he just did a very large project and incorporated our very first implementation of this. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Then we have blue light. Most people think of blue light as blue light therapy. This fits within that nanometer that was specified. And the last one, which is a violet color, most people think ultraviolet, right? In this case, ultraviolet, sometimes people worry about health considerations. So what Nick did was he marched the violet color almost all the way up to the end of the spectrum where it flips over to ultraviolet. And this works great for bowling alleys that are going to do disco balls and fun, and what do you call a paint ball, indoor paintball, and laser tag facilities. All of those cool spaces that need that really cool ultraviolet purpley light to enhance the white and other things that are going on. So I know that there are a lot of national accounts that are looking for that type of product. So that's the first one. Precision wavelength, we just call it simply color palette, and those spectrums are locked in. You can't change those colors because they need to be in those nanometer of light in order to successfully accomplish the mission that they need to do. I'm going to do 2 more slides, and then I'm going to have Nick come in to talk to you a little bit more in detail. Next one, this is launching in a couple of months. I wish I had the exact, I can't think the exact date. So let's say end of September, early October, right in there. We're really close. We're at the point where we should be talking about it. Color Palette Plus allows you to do RGB mixing via this remote control that you see on the left. And we call this, again, remember, I love collecting wattage savings. When you get into color, they're not super energy efficient, much more so maybe than conventional lighting, but not super energy efficient as compared to an energy efficient focused LED. But what Nick did was he designed into the product, not only do you have your RGBW side of the LBI, but you also have a white side. So with the remote, you can flip from RGB back into white mode. And that standard white mode gets you all of the energy efficiency that a normal LBI has. So if I don't know how much of the space you can see around me here. This is the training classroom at Cary. If you were here in this space and you just wanted day in, day out energy efficiency, flip the room over to white light and take advantage of the energy efficiency. If you then want to, I don't know, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, one of the many parties we here have at Light Efficient Design, you can change the colors over and do RGB color mixing. We have several casinos that are interested, so we've had some initial conversations. It's designed to be simple yet powerful and all fit within that LBI value prop that we've talked about. And then the last one DMX, and that's coming soon. So we should have our DMX stuff wrapped up. We're shooting for January 1st, and I think we're pretty much on target because we have all sorts of demos and pre-engineering samples here that we've been working with. And so what we'd like to do is have Nick come in. Let me just advance the slide, make sure I'm on target. Yeah. So Nick's going to come in and talk to you live for about 10 minutes, 5 minutes or so on these products. And then we'll flip into the quiz. And during the quiz, we're going to pop a slide up with some email addresses for you to provide feedback. Again, we're super excited about this, but we really want our whole growth of RemPhos has been predicated on hearing customer feedback, and then we've developed products that fit your needs. So without further ado, I'm going to have Nick jump onto the screen.
Hey, everybody. So as Nate was saying, we've got some brand new items to show you here. I've been really excited about these. We've been working on them for a while, and I know a lot of the people around the office here are really excited too. So I'm going to get this started right away. Nate already did a great job of showing you the remote that we've designed for operation with the Color Palette Plus. The Color Palette Plus is actually a specially designed system just for RemPhos. If you try and go and get it somewhere else, you ain't going to find it. The LED that's in there actually has 3 red chips, 2 blue chips, and 2 green chips. So the reason we did that is because red in your eye, it just takes a lot more power to make it bright. So what we did is we added more LED oomph to basically make the reds brighter and cleaner and better. So the color mixing on this product is very good because of that. And as Nate was saying, we tried to also keep the energy efficiency in there. And, it's hard with RGB LEDs, especially when they're SMD and they're little tiny devices. And you're cramming all these little dyes into one little tiny thing. It's a lot better to have one LED dedicated to efficiency. So we have actually two white LEDs in there, just like our current LBI G2, same 160 lumens per watt, same high brightness, very, very effective at lighting a room or a cove or whatever. And then when you're ready, you can flip it right over. So we're going to get right into it here. I'm going to go ahead and actually, we're going to dim these up here right now. So this is a row of the Color Palette Plus right here. We've got 4 of them along the table here. And so we can take the remote, and with the remote itself, you can switch back and forth from the high efficiency system to the I don't say low efficiency system, but the color system. So let's say we want 3000K. So there's our 3000K option. You can actually dim the product and change the actual output as well, all from the remote itself. So everything can be done right there. And then if you want to change the actual output of sorry, that's me messing with it. You can change the output to red, and I have the actual 0 to 10 volt line hooked up to this one, so it's designed to kind of overwrite whatever is coming in. So the IR wasn't actually working; it was the 0 to 10 volt line. So that's one thing that I want to make sure to make clear to you guys is that we've tried to use the same system that we currently have in the LBI to work with this RGB system. So if you have controls in your system, if you have basic controls or Bluetooth controls, this uses the standard 0 to 10 volt line to dim itself. The color is set all from the remote. But once you add it into your system, you can dim it up and down. So if you have an occupancy area or something like that, and you still want to save energy, it will still dim out the entire system. So if no one's there, but you set your color to green, it'll still dim the light out and save you some energy. So, we really are energy savings focused here. So we're trying to make sure that carries through to all of our new ideas and products. So yeah, you have a lot of different options for color temperatures. Like I was saying, we're going to go just through a couple of them here. You got some really great blues and greens, and you can actually tune the color specifically with a hue button and kind of go up and down and adjust the specific colors you want. There we go. So if you're noticing it's not working over here, but it's working over here. So there's like a primary that gets assigned as soon as the power gets plugged into it. Right now it's this guy. And they will all connect together and kind of follow each other. So that way you don't get a lot of like weird colors showing up or whatever. And you can kind of hit one with a remote and it will change the color to whatever it is you want. So that is the Color Palette Plus. A lot of the wattage and everything we'll have on the spec sheet here soon. So stay tuned for that to come. But this is definitely something that we're really excited about here at LED. And it's going to be a great product, I think, for you guys to sell out in the field. So the next one I kind of want to talk about, which is our brand new one, I'll be really quick about it, but it's our Color Palette X, or is the DMX version of our product, of our LBI product. And you notice it looks pretty much exactly the same. This is going to have RDM support, so you're going to be able to actually remote device management it or address it from a console or from a programming tool. And that way you can actually program this and have each individual tool, each individual light at a different like address, so you can pixel map it. Or if you want to, you can actually set it up so that you can have them all doing the same thing, or coordinated areas. Like if you want to have one wall be orange, one wall be green, or you have a very specific green that you want to hit that you can't quite hit with our standard colors that we offer, that's what the DMX is for. So like Nate was saying, we'll see that come January 2027, but we've already got some good samples working here right now. So get that data coming into us and let us know what type of DMX systems you're seeing out there in the field, because right now we just mainly want to test it and make sure we're covering everything for everybody. So other than that, yeah, it's going to have 5 channels for those of you that actually understand DMX. It'll have RGB, white, and you can run them all in conjunction, but it does have a maximum wattage setting. So as you're bringing the reds up, it'll bring the blue down, it'll bring the red down to adjust for the blue, so that you kind of keep a max wattage setting. As you said before, we're all about efficiency. So that's what we really kind of focus on. So the actual programming and setup of it is specifically adjusted to accommodate the output of the product. So when you adjust your blue and your green, your red, you can make a really nice white, but it won't have a ton of energy draw, right? So it's kind of cool. But this whole system, we designed the LED array itself. So this is something unique to RemPhos specifically. So we're going to try and incorporate this into other products in the future. But for right now, this is where we're starting with it. So yeah, I'm really glad to show it to you guys for the first time. Other than that, I think that's all I have to show with this one.